Tony. I think everybody was shocked when we found out that these two actually got married. I know, like, there's a lot of things we will do in order to pay our bills, but I never thought the relationship between Toni and Birdman was genuine. I just knew that he was just willing to go broke behind her. It just never fit. And so apparently in August of last year in 2024, they had a secret wedding. Finally got married in secret, even though everything else was public. And then she went and tried to annul the marriage 2 weeks later because she realized she had up.
Now let me be real. This is one of the rare moments where I fully agree with Tasha K because this whole situation is wild and straight up confusing. You're telling me Toni Braxton, an actual legend, a woman who inspired a whole generation, went and married Birdman only to file for divorce 2 days later? That's the type of twist nobody expected, especially from Toni, who usually stays far away from messy storylines. Birdman isn't here for the chaos either. He spent over 6 years dodging that wedding date while Toni stood there loyal and patient, waiting for him to finally step up. She played the long game, made her move smooth, and the minute they actually tied the knot, she secured that check. Now, reportedly, he might have to hand over some of that $160 million fortune. That's a hit he definitely didn't see coming, especially with his history of not paying certain artists their money. But what pushed Toni to drop those divorce papers so fast? Well, the first thing everybody needs to understand is Toni and Birdman weren't strangers. They've been friends for almost 20 years.
Me and him have been friends for 16 years.
I know you had a song like 15 years ago,
yeah,
too,
we've
right?
been like besties for a long time.
People always say that. But
No, this is real. Like, no cross the line.
Besties, like you always kept in touch and you always talked.
We would keep in touch. He would come see me when I had my plays, when I had my baby shower. He would come. Like, we were really friends.
And let's keep it real. There's no universe where those two were just smiling at each other from across the room without things getting a little heated. Toni tried to play innocent, saying they didn't cross any lines before they officially started dating. Okay, Toni, we hear you. Birdman is known for keeping his dating life locked down, so when rumors started flying in 2016 that they were suddenly together or even secretly married in 2017, the whole industry did a double take. Toni shut those rumors down. Birdman denied them too, talking about how they were just keeping things cool, hanging out, keeping it cute and calm. Basically the same energy people give when they don't want the world in their business. But then a mysterious blind item started circulating, hinting that something deeper was going on between them. It said this former A-plus list aging singer from a famous singing family supposedly dumped her longtime boyfriend because she had bills to pay and heavy debt on her back, and she chose to align with the man offering the biggest financial security, supposedly someone with a lot of enemies and a risky lifestyle. And honestly, that description lined up a little too well with Toni. She filed for her second bankruptcy back in 2010 after being forced to cancel her Vegas shows while battling lupus.
What's happening with you? You was at the awards last night?
Yeah, I was out there
working,
doing my thizzle.
And you were with Toni, which kind of felt like some sort of announcement.
I wouldn't look at it as an announcement. Not for me, on my behalf. I just wanted to come. Me and T just went to the awards, check it out. So what's the big deal?
It is a big deal. You know why it's a big deal? Because it's Birdman and Toni Braxton. And also because we don't see you like in a relationship. We talked about this last time when you
I've always been off the radar because I think me personally, I always felt your personal life don't have nothing to do with conflict with your entertainment life.
She's been open about how much pressure she felt providing for her family, how her sisters expected her to cover everything, and how she always took care of everybody around her. Toni even talked about why being with Birdman felt so easy for her, almost like slipping into comfort after years of stress. That alone got people looking at this whole marriage with a side eye because nothing about this situation is normal. Toni said it felt comforting to finally have someone tell her it's okay to be sick and that she doesn't have to act like Wonder Woman every single day.
There's no date. We almost had a date. Well, we had 2 dates, but we were doing Braxton Family Values and we were going through a little drama, and I was like, okay, the wedding is a good thing to get all of our sisters together. Yeah. But I couldn't get us all together, and I said, the wedding's not a good reason because it's messing up my relationship a little bit. He's like, come on, Michelle, set a date.
Lupus drains your body and your spirit, and she admitted there were plenty of moments where the weight felt too heavy. With Birdman, she didn't have to fake strength or pretend everything was fine when it wasn't. She opened up about how dating was always hard for her because she felt embarrassed about her lupus and worried that nobody would want to support a woman dealing with a serious illness. She said she used to feel insecure, but with him, she could relax. She could throw on a little hat or a scully with some lipstick and mascara and still feel safe letting her guard down.
People don't know, 2016, November, when I was on tour, October, I was really sick. I don't mean kind of sick. I mean like really,
From the
really
lupus?
sick.
Or
Yeah, I had a
from-
really
okay.
bad flare, and I was on tour. And every day I was on tour, he was there with me. If he left out, he would come back.
And this was before anybody knew you
We
guys
weren't
were
anything.
even,
It was
like-
buddies. It was
Right.
nothing. Not even a day. He was my friend. He was there. I don't know if
he
you ever...
already loved you.
He's there every day taking care of you. But you know, he really was there every day. My buddy, my friend T. You all right? You good? I'm cheering good. You know, he was just there as my friend. Like cheering, I'm cheering good. Big Mama good. He was there every day for the shows. And on my off days, he would go and take care of his business, but he would follow me on the bus and just make sure I was okay. And I don't know if you've ever been really, really sick in your life and you feel kind of hopeless and you got somebody who's a friend that's there. That's kind of, it
means
just
a
made
lot.
me see him differently.
She could truly breathe around him, and that feeling hit different. And apparently Birdman was feeling that vibe just as heavy when he decided to propose, and he didn't hold back. He put a massive rock on Toni's finger, a ring so loud you could see it from across the street. Toni even posted a picture of them right after the engagement, and that ring was shining like it had its own spotlight. Word is Birdman dropped around $1 million on it, and when he talked about her on Wendy Williams' show, he called her his family and said, "She my life, I love her."
Well, T, that's my girl, my friend, my family.
Do you have sex?
That's my love, my soldier, my life. She my everything, and I trust
Because you
and
bought
I
her a
love
Bentley truck.
Yes.
So the implication is that's your girlfriend.
She my life. I love her to death.
That's serious energy. But if these two were so deeply in love, why didn't they go through with the wedding? Toni told Wendy she was excited to get married again and said they almost had a date set, but some family drama messed it up. After that, the wedding kept getting pushed back until it basically disappeared, even though Birdman was allegedly ready to lock it in immediately. If it were up to him, they would have signed those papers on the spot. Things got even more confusing when Toni revealed she lost her $1 million ring after leaving it in her luggage on a flight, claiming someone stole it. Now, I don't know how real that story is, but not long after that situation, Toni and Birdman confirmed they were going their separate ways. People still whispered that the two were secretly married and just hiding it, but Toni shut that down fast, saying they were never married at all. After the breakup, she posted a picture in a red dress with the caption, "Starting a new chapter isn't always an easy choice, but always choose to be chosen." That had folks raising eyebrows like, was she dropping hints about something deeper? And even though Toni tried to keep things classy and make the split look peaceful, insiders say it was far from smooth. Word around the industry was that Toni wasn't the only woman in Birdman's life. He had been dealing with Cam Lee way before Toni stepped in, and he allegedly kept supporting Cam's lifestyle even after Toni came into the picture. Birdman even went as far as celebrating Kimora, calling her the love of his life and saying he was grateful for everything she ever did for him. So Kimora gets the title of love of his life, while Toni is the family and soldier. That already sounds like a storm waiting to happen, and that right there was the real tension sitting between Toni and Birdman. Even after they reunited on stage at her Atlanta show, Kimora was still in the background, and she had Birdman responding to her every call like she ran the whole setup. Word on the street was that the only reason Kimora never went public with him was because she didn't think he matched the polished fashion world she lived in. So while Toni and Birdman were planning a wedding last year, he was allegedly still chasing behind Kimora at the same time. People say on the actual day of the wedding, Birdman showed up super late and then dipped out early, claiming he had to help someone with something, and that someone allegedly ended up being Kimora Lee. He didn't even apologize to Toni for walking out on his own wedding early, which is wild to even imagine happening. So honestly, what was Toni doing tangled up in this circus anyway? Playing these back and forth games with Birdman was the last thing anybody thought she'd be wrapped up in at her grown, accomplished age, especially knowing her history and her status. But Toni didn't stick around longer than she needed to. She stayed just long enough to make sure she walked away with a solid check, then filed those divorce papers and kept it moving. Allegedly, Toni and Birdman didn't even use their full names when they signed the divorce documents. They only used their initials, TB and BW and stated that the marriage was irretrievably broken. Neither one of them wanted the details leaking, and both of them have been very quiet, not even trying to shut down the rumors that they are officially done for good. Neither of them have been spotted wearing any wedding bands, and both wiped every picture of each other off social media like the whole relationship never existed. That sent the internet into a frenzy because folks were shocked Toni even tolerated Birdman for this long, even if she ended up walking away with a serious payday. Toni Braxton and Birdman as a couple was one of the wildest chapters we've ever seen play out in real time. People are still cracking jokes like, I'm gonna keep pretending Toni the Braxton didn't let Birdman get that close. And others are saying Toni filing for divorce 2 weeks after marrying Birdman is insane. This whole saga left everyone talking. But what do you think about their relationship? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and don't forget to keep those notifications on because you do not want to miss what we got coming next. I'll see you in the next video.